Hi guys, Tim here with a new video, and this video is about the retail. It's a 10.2 kind of wish list video for PvP systems. I'm going to give a few videos. I'm going to make a few videos about that. So this is my wish list. Before any other changes on the PTR, I wanted to give my, not prediction, because I think it's hard to predict Blizzard these days. They can also just make 10.2 the last patch of um, Dragonflight, which would be a good decision. I think creating Dragonflight very short and to get another expansion is probably the right way to do. But I'm assuming they're going to go for a 10.3 and probably then stop and go into the next expansion. But 10.2, I wanted to give out my um, wish list for PvP systems. I might make videos about wish lists between classes I'm playing or specs I'm playing, but currently let's talk about PvP and just the systems behind it. And whenever I'm talking about systems, it means, like, let's say, spoiler alert, adding another battleground, for example, or a change about soul shuffle. Anyways, that's the kind of system I would then wish for 10.2. But let's start with my first point. I wish for a PvP interview, and that's to occur before 10.2. I really wish that. I think it's something that is really a little ask. It's only taking 1 hour of the time of a dev. Probably a bit more because they are going to probably green light a few questions. They're not going to get asked the questions that are quite hard. Let's be honest, I want some communication, and that's pretty much my biggest wish for 10.2. I talked about it like multiple times. I think a lot of people actually do talk about it on Twitter, talk about it on forums, Reddit, and just in general in every single content creator video for PvP. We are asking for a PvP review, and you may say that a PvP interview doesn't change anything in game. That's not true. If they actually are open and honest and they are like transparent about the state of the game, then we might have some good changes at the horizon. It would be nice to see that there are PvPers at the dev team, really PvPers, players actually. It would be nice to see, oh goddamn, that developer is actually really high rated. He PvPs. He actually spams the soul shuffle queues and the threes and the twos and the RPGs. So he knows what he's talking about. I'm not even saying that it has to be a high elo or high MMR player to know what's up with the game, but at least see that the dev is actually spamming games can actually just show us that, look, they are playing their own game, so they know what's up. Also, them being transparent about having a solution or maybe not. Actually, I would be not against a PvP interview and actually have an honest response from them saying, look guys, there is a problem with PvP, we all know that, everyone saw that, the population is declining, we're going to be honest about that, and we do not have any solution about it. So we would like to have a open discussion, an open forum on this post or YouTube, and have suggestions from you. Any suggestions, except balancing. Balancing will not help the state of the game. We want solutions about systems, and that would be the greatest PvP interview of all time. But I think they're not going to do that. That's my biggest wish, and that's why I'm actually wishing it, because I think they're not going to do that. Anyways, that's number one. Number two, I would say that they need to make solo shuffle MMR a general thing and not a role-based thing. So whenever I'm talking about that, it means DPS, protection paladins, healers. I would even say tanks, although I think DP tanks are still inside the DPS and MMR, so that doesn't change anything. But DPS, protection paladins, and healers, they have combined MMR. So it means that if you're playing a healer and you're facing another healer, you're not really competing only versus the healer, because that's stupid. You're also competing with the DPSs. The DPSs can also just ruin your games, right? So make that MMR. You have 6 players into the pool of MMR. Make them to compete with each other. So it means that the MMR is going to be for sure a bit more fair because they're going to be at the same range MMR wise as the DPS, because if you're 2k, impossible that your heal is going to be 1.6k because they're going to compete versus each other. So it will bring the MMR up, and the general like median of the MMR of the game is going to be quite similar. So I would do that. It's a small change. I don't think it's a big change. I think it's still going to result at a zero-sum game for Soul Shuffle. So it's not going to be making MMR useless. It's going to be making MMR more accessible for everyone. So if someone is hurt, if healer's MMR is ruined, DPS MMR is also ruined. So it will also guarantee developers to actually work on it more actively. Let's be honest. So everyone is actually like going to fight for that, and I think it will be a positive thing. Though I think it will be less of a 1v1 versus a healer, and I think you could also still win MMR by even just winning 2 games, or even winning 4 games, or 5 games, or 6 games, because there is a pool of 6 players inside that game mode. The third suggestion would be really simple. Put 2v2 DPS queue for solo shuffle. I know it's stupid, you're going to shard the player base, but there is only one group of roles that is actually okay to shard, and it's probably the DPSers in general. Because you will always have a lot of DPSers, you will always have people that want to play DPS anyways. So if you actually split them up, it will not ruin the MMR or queue for solo shuffle. It will just make the solo shuffle queues way faster for either DPSers, but it will be maybe a bit slower for healers though, because again, it will be a bit sharded. Again, you will have less DPSers, but it will mean that again, healers are not like the one thing we have to grasp and have to be caution about, because else the game is ruined. No, now you have a 2v2 bracket, or hell, make even a 1v1. Try to balance 1v1 bracket, like a specific balancing for that bracket. So it means whenever you're going for a 1v1 on that bracket, it will have another set of rule set, I would say. So for example, stealth is only 30 seconds and it has a 30-second CD, for example. Or eyes is active from the start and it has a 30-second duration, and you can actually alt tab the rogue, for example, so you can see where he is. Something like that, right? You can make it very fun, so people can actually hop and play and directly have a queue pop. Guaranteed, 1v1 bracket is going to be the thing that is going to help World of Warcraft be again a fun game, in my opinion. Will it be super imbalanced? Probably. I'm not going to lie. 1v1, a rogue or hunter is going to get an opener probably 99% of the time, and probably win games more often than, let's say, a affliction warlock. But that's why you can balance maybe the bracket with some diminish, like not DRs, but like minus aura, like aura nerfs. For example, rogue 1v1 is going to do less damage. Warlock is going to survive more, for example. A Paladin will heal more, or self-healing will be buffed for all DPSers except the hybrids, except the hybrids that are actually difficulties. For example, Retribution Paladin has no self-heals currently, like purely shielding and such. So that is buffed. But make it fun. And that will be sharding the DPSs out of Soul Shuffle, so it will mean that Soul Shuffle has faster queues. It will mean that 2v2 has also queues, are also going to be fast, and also 1v1 is going to have fast queues. So that is going to be good. Now, my fourth suggestion, because I think that's the third suggestion, my fourth suggestion would be to reward every single bracket. Let me rephrase that. Reward every single bracket. That's not hard. Please put a recolor on glad mounts. Make it like a Lego style glad mount, so every time you're getting a new rank, for example, you start the glad mount at 1.8k or 1.6k. I don't care. To be honest, it's not like something I care too much about, but it would be nice for the player base to actually grind for. So 1.6k, 1.8k, you get the base glad mount. It's kind of ugly, but it is okay. And every time you're getting like the rank, for example, Rifle 2, or Duelist, or Elite, or then Glad, you get like special customizable assets on those glad mounts that you make it like a Lego. It becomes more and more epic, and then you can make a glad mount again being epic, and then you can even put a rank 1 glad mount, I don't care, which is the more shiny one, like literally a shiny Pokemon, for example. I don't care, but make something like that. So it means that people are going to grind for 1.6k, grind for 1.8k, grind for 2k, grind for 2.1k, and you're going to be settled with the population. So you will be playing healers because you will have more faster queues, more faster invites, and people will be incentivized to play again. And put that for every single bracket. So it means in 2v2 you get like a green Drake, a green glad mount. For 3v3, you get the OG glad mount. For solo shuffle, you get the, I don't know, man, the purple glad mount. I don't care. And then you have a 2v2 solo shuffle and 1v1, not solo shuffle, but 1v1 bracket where it's a BO3. So you win 2 rounds and you won the MMR, not like a one thing. Okay? You get something like also a reward, maybe a title, I don't care, but reward the players. Also, I think it's stupid that legend title is not something you can keep. Once you reach legend, but it's only like a seasonal thing. After the season end, the legend title goes away. So make it permanent. Make it the title for that season. For example, if it's a Crimson Legend, put it Crimson Legend. I don't care. Something like that. Make it like prestigious. Again, rewarding your players seems like work, but it is rewarded at the end. Put rewards for players. Players are going to be enjoying the progress or wanting to play. And even then, if you think it's a waste of time, trust me, if there is a reward, the boosting scene will be higher. So it means they're going to buy some good tokens for you guys. You Blizzard developers that you want some money. You get some tokens. We get some players into our pool. Boosters are happy. Players are happy. I am happy because I have some people to own on social for 2v2, 3v3, 1v1, 2v2, social for whatever. And you guys, Blizzard, you are the most happy because you get some tokens in return. Win-win for everyone, right? Again, I'm not really okay with boosters, but I think whenever boosters are rampant, it means that the game is kind of alive because rewards are actually there and bragging rights are there, so people are actually actively buying boosts because it is actually prestigious. It's the same for League of Legends, right? Whenever Diamond or Challenger or Master is actually super interesting to get because it's like bragging rights, the boosting scene is way up, and whenever it's like Diamond, it's not really what it was, the boosting scene goes down, and that because the player base is also going down. So it's the same for every single thing, for FIFA, for Call of Duty, for Valorant, for CSGO, for every single game is like that. So you have to accept that boosting is part of the ecosystem because of all those things. And you can fight boosting, but you have to first reward the players before you can actually see the boosting scene go up, right? But anyways, I'm not really a fan of that. But anyways, number 4 was the rewards for every single bracket. Number 5 would be extra BGs. Again, extra BGs, and you don't have to go too far away. You can make a new bracket, which is a solo queue RBG bracket, which is probably for the next expansion as a super new thing. 7 versus 7, 6 versus 6, and they're going to say, we are going to re-customize every single BG to fit into a 6v6 kind of battle, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to do that. What I wanted is to have like a beta kind of thing. Like, for example, we had in Shadowlands, we had the social for Brawl. Let's put the 6v6, 7v7 Brawl that is always there, and with a lot of conquest rewards and maybe a ranked system, but whatever, it's maybe too much, but like a conquest farm modus for you guys if you want to farm conquest, and it's like super easy to farm conquest. Go for the 6v6 or 7 versus 7 BGs. They're going to rework those BGs. For example, Warzone Gulch is going to be smaller, or it's only one flag, so you have to capture that one flag. So there's a flag in the middle, and you have like 2 bases. They're going to run into the middle, have a brawl, take the flag, go dispose that flag into your base, you get a point, and have like a brawl like this. So you don't have to defend your flag, you have to attack the flag. For example, that would be working, right? Or like a thing where you have to take the flag, like for example, not a big fan of the American football, but pretty much you have a flag in the middle, you take the flag and you have to go across the other base, so you have to go to their base and drop the flag like you're going to drop a hoop or whatever, and you try to score, but you have to stand still there 10 seconds and they have to push you away, or they're something like that, man. It's so easy to make BGs, guys. Guys, I know I dissed you too much. Blizzard devs, I dissed you too much. Please enlist me to make your BGs. You're even going to make gold off of it because you're going to say those BGs are so good, we're going to make a mythic plus out of it. Anyways, think about it. A flag map like Warsong Gulch just only have one flag, 2 teams, 6v6, 7v7, super like team fighting oriented. You don't have a defense team or attack team. Everything is revolved around one flag. If someone takes a flag, the other team has to attack and the other team has to defend, and it will be like this. I think that would be the best game mode PG, and I think people would have and would like to have PGs that are centered around that. 6v6 Arati Basin, you only have one domination zone and you have to just hold that. So it means that you have to push your enemies away, you have fast response, you try to get that zone and try to get the dominance around that. For example, or like 2 zones for like something that like a domination map on Call of Duty, right? You put a zone, you have to walk in, and then that zone is going to disappear. You have to walk to another zone and try to something like that, man. It's not hard. It's not hard. You literally have Activision Blizzard, which is literally Call of Duty, which is literally a game mode that you already have in your stock. You just have to use it and put a World of Warcraft skin on it. It's not hard, guys. People should really understand that it is not hard to make such a thing. You have a dev team. New assets for sure is going to take more time, but you just use Warsong Gulch and you put a flag at the middle. That's pretty much what I'm asking. Same for Arati Basin. You make blacksmith the first zone, and then every time it's going to switch zones between stables, farm, mines, and elem, and you will have like a malus effect where if your team is losing, it will be closer to your base than to their base, so it will become farm instead, and then you're going to win, and it's going to go blacksmith and then GM and then LM and then go ST. Anyways, it's really not hard. And make it like a ranked system, and it would be also the most watchable thing on esport. If you want to make esport a thing again for World of Warcraft and very visual, because esport has to be visual or else it's useless. CSGO, a headshot is a headshot. League of Legends, lanes, MOBAs, it's not really complicated. It's visually not complicated, let's be honest. And you have a laning phase, and then you have team fights where it's really not that great to watch, but the first few minutes are actually interesting to watch. Again, Valorant, the same. Everything is watchable. Overwatch is not watchable, and for some reason it is Activision Blizzard, by the way. But anyways, so that's what I'm asking. Just make BGs more interesting with the same assets. You already did an RT Basin Blizzard with winter and snow. Just make it more interesting with a domination map. So many things. The orbs map, you only have one orb and you have to make it work, right? And it has a countdown, so it will stop after like 30 seconds. It will switch. You have to take another orb, and that orb is just gone. So you have to work around it and still be moving. And if you're the winning team, you have to still be on your toes, because again, there is a comeback possible. Again, it's very, very easy. Please, if you guys are still watching the video, please let me know in the comment section. Again, I think that idea is probably the best idea I have. I think no one really said about like the Warzone Gulch with one map, with one flag, or the domination map that is going to switch zones every time, like a Call of Duty map, or the one orb and then switching every 30 seconds, so you have to take another orb and you have to take risks. I think that would be cool. 6v6, 7v7, have 2 healers, so it's manageable. Maybe 1 healer and then 1 support class that you want to make possible with Augmentation Evoker. Anyways, I think my last suggestion, but that would be probably would be probably very hard to implement. But I think 3v3 should be gone if you are actually making support specs a thing. I think it should be 4v4. So you only have one support, one healer, and then yes, I think that could be the future if you're actually thinking about adding new specs for every single class. So Warlock has a support spec, Warrior has a support spec, whatever, and you make tank specs maybe supports side of PvP, then it would work. But again, you have to see how you're going to do that. I think my prediction is for Augmentation Evoker, they're going to either make it a full-on healer like Discipline Priest, so you can deal damage and still heal with that, or they're going to make it full-on DPS spec. I think the support kind of test went super wrong. I think no one likes it, PvE and PvP. Unfortunately, I think Augmentation Evoker is a better spec than Devastation Evoker, like purely on a design standpoint. I'm not saying like it's more fun or more damagey or more healy, whatever. I'm just talking about the design standpoint that Augmentation Evoker is everything that Devastation Evoker would have wished. I think like if you put that hit instead of Devastation Evoker would feel like a real spec. Right now, it is not the case. But anyways, that's my opinion. Again, a lot of like suggestions. I don't know if you guys are watching the whole video. If you're watching the whole video and commenting, please let me know that you watched the whole video. It helps me because I try to have a storyline, a story behind the videos I'm making, and try to entertain you, although it's a still image of my Tauren level 13 because I died as a hunter stupidly. In I want PvP to be great again. I love PvP. I think Dragonflight, gameplay wise, is the best expansion. I think just really sucks like purely on a systems level and on innovation level and on a communication level. I think it's too much. I think they're missing the point. I think Shadowlands had way more going on for them PvP wise than Dragonflight, and it's already summed up with one thing, and it's called rewarding your players. That's pretty much it. Rewarding your players. And I think if it's not a MMR that you're rewarding, at least reward actual rewards, cosmetics, titles, or whatever, so you can actually grind for something. Right now, you're grinding for only fun, and to be honest, the fun is really cut short whenever the queues are very long. Even for 2v2, it's 8 minutes. 3v3, sometimes the queues are very long, or you're facing the same teams over and over again. And since like Augmentation Evoker is a thing, you have also those really dampening comps that are actually very boring to play again. It's bursty and dampening at the same way, so if you are not paying attention, you're dead. If you're paying attention, the game can go on for 8 minutes. Have something. But anyways, let me know. Have a great day. We'll catch you all probably very soon. Have a great day.